Hey guys, today we're going to dive into 4 types of wealth that every entrepreneur should know about. And once you hear them, a lot of them you're going to go, oh my gosh, I never really thought about it that way. And hopefully it keeps you from making the same mistakes that so many of us make, especially when we're getting started. So let's go into it. Number 1. The first type of wealth is the one that everybody kind of immediately focuses on, and that is financial. And financial wealth really comes down to dollars and cents. We need to have financial wealth for, in order to be successful, in order to be able to do things in life, be able to go travel around, to be able to have good and rich lives, right? So financial wealth, a big one. What I will say about financial wealth is once you dissect it and you start looking about the people that are most financially successful, they don't rely on just trading their time for money. They start focusing on buying assets and allowing the assets. Some people use an analogy of they're like soldiers and they're going out and capturing prisoners, right? You're sending out your dollars to go out and buying assets to go out and generate more dollars and bring them back towards your financials. So those are the dollars and cents. And that's what a lot of people focus on like a laser beam. But you're going to see in a little bit why that may be the wrong thing to be doing. So we have income streams that are really important. And just by way of analogy, when you look at the most successful people, let's just say millionaires and above, they tend to have more than 3 income sources. By far and away, well over 60% have at least 3, and the majority have at least 4, and not just underneath have 5 different income streams going onto the returns. So I want you to start thinking of financial independence and financial wealth as being something where you have more than just you, but you're starting to create a team. And that team is of you and assets. You're building up your army, right? You're getting a bunch of soldiers out there in the form of dedicating your dollars to those assets. Number 2 is going to be your social, and I'm just going to call it social wealth. Social wealth is things like your networking, what your reputation looks like, your, I hate to say this, but kind of the vanity metrics, like having the really nice house, living in the right type of neighborhood that you want to live in, being around people that you want to be around, those types of things. And that really comes down to your social wealth. This is where you got to focus, and you still got to take care of it. Right? It's really important. It might be the reputation you have in your profession. A lot of people focus on that even more than they're doing on their financial, which is why it's listed as a specific type of wealth. Other people are trying to impress others, which is where it could start to become a negative. And you want to be very careful about that when you start looking at the type of wealth and what you're working for. If you're spending too much on this and not enough on the others, then you're going to end up in a negative place. And over and over again, we see that. Another way to look at social wealth is your influence. When people start coming to you, asking you questions, or in your particular area, maybe it's something where you become kind of the expert, then that's a great type of wealth to have, right? And you're able to share that with others. A lot of people, they do that for profit during their formative years and eventually transition that actually into charitable activities, sometimes the not-for-profit area, in the future, which is actually a lot of fun. I always think of like medical professionals or financial professionals or people, like even myself, I like to teach a lot more now that I've achieved independence because it's rewarding and you feel really great helping other people. That flows right into that social wealth. Now, the next 2 types of wealth, these are the ones that unfortunately people trade for these first 2, and I want to make sure you're not doing it. The third type of wealth is time wealth. This is the one I tend to focus on most in my life, and I see investors really starting to focus in on. People want to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And that's time wealth. The ability to say, I want to go on vacation, I'm going to go on vacation. Somebody calls me up like last year, hey, Toby, we're going to go to the Dominican Republic for so-and-so's birthday. Do you want to come? Yeah. I don't have to think about it. Of course, this would be a lot of fun. It's because you have different types of wealth. That time wealth is the ability to do what you want to do when you want to do it. I don't have to ask my boss for permission. I don't have to ask, hey, I need to take this time off or submit a bunch of requests. If you set your life up in a way where you have lots of time wealth, then you're able to do things when you want to do that. If I want to donate time for something, I can do it. If I have a sick relative, I can fly out and take care of them. If I don't have to ask anybody. And this one is probably the biggest commentary when I'm dealing with people of what they perceive wealth is the ability to have control over their own time. And frankly, we only get so much of it. We don't want to be giving it away or wasting it. The other thing you could do with time wealth is, this is a simple exercise. I steal most of my ideas from other people, so I don't know who to give this credit to, but I've heard it from a few different people, is you take a look at what your income stream is and what your annual income is, and you divide it by 2,000. And just try to get an idea of what your hourly rate is. Like, that would be my personal service time. So if you're working full time, you're around 2,000 hours. Let's say that I'm making $100,000 a year, so $50 an hour. If I can take something that I don't want to do and have somebody do it for less than $50 an hour, it's actually a pretty good use of my time, right? I'm better off letting somebody else do things that are not my most effective time. Because in theory, I could be spending more time if I'm making $50 an hour and I can have somebody come in for $20 an hour and do laundry or something around the house, clean the house, whatever, instead of me doing it, it might be a better use. Like, that's actually a really good trade-off. I'm making $30 an hour more than it's costing me to have somebody else do that by going and freeing up that time, and I could spend it generating additional income, or I could spend it on my social wealth, or I could spend it on this last one, which is the one that we tend to throw to the wolves, which is your health wealth. You only have one body. You got to take care of it. You got to make sure that you're taking care of you. And I'm not just talking about your physical, I'm talking about your mental, your happiness, being present with your family, like what we see over and over again. And I'm sure everybody here has experienced this. You've seen people that trade these off. They literally are working themselves into a dither, and they have no time of their own. They're not happy when they are. They're burning the candle at both ends, and they start to suffer on a health standpoint because they're chasing these two right up here. So what you don't want to do is trade 3 and 4 for 1 and 2, right? You want to make sure that you have balance in these things. Now that you're aware of them, hopefully it'll make it easier for you. And I told you, like, for some of you guys, this might be a little bit of an aha moment where we've never really considered that there's different types of wealth. When you really look at it, the ability, once you're financially independent, to be able to spend more time on health. You see a lot of folks that say, man, I did not take care of myself when I'm younger. I'm spending a lot more time trying to catch up. Maybe they're getting a personal trainer. Maybe they're getting foods made, delivered, whatever, made for them. Maybe they have a personal chef. All those things kind of flow into this. Those are different types of wealth. It comes out of, a lot of it comes out of that financial, which is, again, if you focus on building your army, it'll go out and bring in prisoners so that you can do these other things a lot easier. Some people aren't interested in social wealth at all. They're not cared about what anybody else thinks about it. More power to them, and they're probably going to be spending more time doing what? Things that they want to do, maybe more time with their family. Maybe they're healthier. Maybe they're saying, hey, financially, I don't need to have the independence to that extent, as long as I am very healthy and I have enough time to go do the things I want to do, and I'm willing to start playing a little bit of trade-off. So it helps us for us to actually look at it and say, what am I getting out of this? And actually break them into the components so that when you're deciding to do something, you're able to dictate and actually focus in on what's important and what you need to work on. If you're working way too much, then you're going to want to make sure that you're building up other types of wealth so you don't have to do it, right? And you want to make sure that you're focusing on those things that do you the most benefit. If I'm missing any, please put it in the comments below. If you have anything that you've experienced that are great examples for this that you could share with others, please put it in the comment below. And as always, like and subscribe, click that bell so you're notified when new videos come out. And if you think somebody could benefit from this information, please share it.